October 27, 2001.
Happy birthday to Alvin Fingal. He's finally a man by reaching the legal age of 18. 18. 1 8. 1 8. Now he can vote, buy new things he couldn't before, gamble, and join the military. He mentioned the Coast Guard when Dad brought it up. Actually, Indiana still allows those passing the written exam to get their driver's license at age 16, or at least for now. So Alvin can already drive, and he sure has been with that old clunker of a fixer-upper station wagon. Off base. Even though Halloween's coming up and it's not a good holiday, remember? Mom threw Alvin a birthday party, keeping the theme to football and basketball, his two favorite sports. His friends from around town played b-ball in our driveway since the air was not too bad yet. Actually, by the end of October, what we call only by Alvin's birthday, in our Christian household, the weather has been gloomy and wet, but not this Friday, the 26th, while the sky transitioned from the cerulean to the navy through yellows, oranges, reds, and violets. The craggy surface unevenly settling a black top, reverberating into bounce of rubber, smacking a backboard, and cheers from rowdy dudes. Some of the guys hanging around with Alvin were new to our house. Others, like the Hatfield brothers, have been Alvin's friends since around the time he broke his leg. That was when he was in seventh grade. In the summer, he we bonded as best we could over refreshing his cup with more Gatorade, attempting to memorize the entire Bears and Bulls starting lineups, and remaining bad enough to lose him at Sega basketball so he wouldn't punch my shoulder so much. So many bruises. A broken leg doesn't make people nicer. At least not for my older brother Alvin. Not trying out for the eighth grade football or basketball teams at Jefferson Middle meant he lost motivation for school that year. One thing led to another as mom and dad described it to me during a serious talk about the dangers of drugs once, and Alvin got caught up with the hippie stoner teens in high school. They didn't seem too bad at basketball earlier tonight, especially in those dim conditions outside and our less than state of the art court. Maybe the broken leg never was the issue, but our uneven driveway. Mom snapped photos on another one of her drugstore disposable cameras, while her endless homemade pizzas baked in the oven. She even left the screen door open to let the heat drift out and waft us all through it the bright and hearty scent of melting mozzarella, toasting tomatoes, and crisping crust, even from scratch. Not many families in Meadowdale have moms that can cook three full pizzas for seven nearly adult men, plus our family of five. My mom wows me regularly. I hope my brother's impressed too. Her birth, her pizza tastes better than most takeout places, and I've tried at Friends'. Sometimes I have even disliked store-bought pizzas because they end up so flat and flavorless compared to my mom's puffy and tangy type. Alvin's friends were not wanting to sit around the dining room table, so they spread out on the couches in the attached family room, usually not permitted to us for eating. Mom and Dad didn't say anything right away. Eventually, Dad did go over to the offer that folded onto the ground teenagers, napkins for their hands, begging them this typical request, not wiping their greasy claws on the furniture. At least he was being consistent. Not all of Alvin's invites had long hair necessarily, but none of them had those scary hairstyles like spikes, mohawks, or dyed hair. Those are more goth and punk styles, not hippie ones like my brother and his pals. They just don't hadn't visited the barber in more than a year, I would say. Some, like the Hatfields, have curly, bouncy afros. I think that's what they're called. My hair's been turning curlier too, like Alvin's friends. Maybe I'll have an afro one day. We'll see. I don't like growing my hair too long, like Alvin did this year. But his hair is more of a wavy texture, like Leona's and Dad's. Mom and I have the curly hair, but I think Mom perms hers, or whatever the word is for setting it to have a specific wave to it. I think Mom dyes her hair too, but she doesn't like when I say that. Just for here. Leona likes dyeing her hair various shades with her gal pals when they're having sleepovers, but she's usually lightening or bleaching her red mane instead of the extreme colors that Dad dislikes. It's not terrible to see purple or blue hair, though. The jocks at Alvin and Leona's high school often paint their hair and body the non human hue of green. And they're not evil per se. So I'm not really sure where Dad's hatred for hair dye comes from. Dad has other picky traditions he enforces around the house that were lax for Alvin's party. For instance, the oldest Hatfield brother sparked up a cigarette during a pause from basketball, sitting on the front steps, peering at his friends and the brightening stars. The moon was growing toward full, but still had a sliver to quite thankfully. Alvin's friends were never directly mean to me, but without much coordination of arms and legs during sports based tasks, I drew mockery upon my mistakes too swiftly. Alvin would even demand I serve his friends beverages or food on previous occasions of meeting them. Mom and Dad out with the intention he was watching me. Alvin would make sure I exited the kitchen wearing my mom's frilly black apron or puffy purple baking mitts. I never understood the joke at the time, but in thinking back, since it made me look more girly, they would think it's funny. Clapping a hand to another or stamping a foot to hilarity at the sight of me in the outfit. Their friend's younger brother obeying orders just for the approval of older guys. I never grew warm to Alvin and his buddies. Even now, his last year of high school, I do not seem to connect it to his soon to depart brother of mine. If his tasks of joining the military are true, he could leave like Leona did before the start of the school year. Will I be entirely on my own with mom and dad next year? How did I survive the pressure to succeed at school? They enforced me to join sports like my older siblings? Not learning how to get along with my brother or his friends while they were still kids like me? Would I ever be able to better develop my ability to make more friends? My own bestie has been at another school district since the sixth grade. Most of my other friends from the neighborhood kind of ignore me at school, except for James, with all his honors level classes and Spanish instead of French. We never see each other outside of the lunch or gym, neither of which we're the best at. Maybe the guys from Yuku will become better friends. Another meeting this upcoming Sunday. The Helen is going to go with me again. We'd be on together over worshiping God and fun shopping trips to the mall. Alvin keeps me near for servitude, but far with ridicule. None of them really noticed me tonight. Maybe because I stay closer to Mom. Her shadow almost helping set the table, wash some last minute dishes, tidy the rooms and clutter before the guys all came in for supper. It was better that way, I guess. No one was going to make fun of me when I was ensuring they got pizza and soda pop, right? With all the dedication and labor of love my mom put in, I hope the birthday boy and his friends enjoyed it. She worked so hard for them. Some of the guys discussed Halloween while chatting over pizza, inviting Alvin to haunted houses this weekend, and even a party in neighboring Georgia Heights. That's where the church we attend is. So Alvin didn't need to drive so far to pick them up. Take them there. The discussion felt more like soft commands instead of suggestions for further fun, but at least Alvin seemed like his last year of high school would be fun of activities. Leona mentioned during youth group with me on Sunday night and dared the others to join if any was cool enough to attempt getting to know the one true God. There were glaring glances connected across the room as she rang out our Lord's name. Not sure if their t-shirts of dancing rainbows and fish lettering were religious, but interest in Jesus did not seem evident in Alvin's pals. A few even chuckled quietly to one another. I was proud of Leona, inviting them all to meet their creator on the weekend while the devil usually distracts everyone with candy and costumes. Salem, I single.